Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my tips and tricks for studying for finals video. So I have a whole paper printed out. This is actually given to me by my chemistry teacher, so I'm going to be referring to that throughout my video, so that's why I'm looking down if I look down. So let's get started. First of all, get organized. This means, at least for me, I get all of my materials for studying, all of my notes, all of my old tests, all of my old lectures together for each class. If you've kept yourself organized throughout the year, this is going to be super, super easy, and it'll really just be putting things in stacks and paper clipping them together. But if you haven't gotten yourself organized throughout the year, then now is the perfect time because for finals you're going to want everything somewhere where you can easily access it. The next one is clean your room, and I cannot tell you how true this is for me. When my room is messy, my brain is messy. Like, if my room is disgusting and I can't see the floor and I can't see my desk, then I can't focus. I can't sit in there and calmly study for my test because I'm worrying about the 15 bazillion things that are about to fall on top of me from like all sides. So that'll really, really help just to make you less stressed because it's one less thing you're having to deal with. So, alright, then is make to-do lists, and I am such a to-do list freak. Making to-do list is like my forte. I love making to-do lists. Normally I do it in my planner, but for finals I just don't have enough room. So I get out sheets of paper and I make a to-do list for each class, and then I make a big to-do list for all of my classes combined. And it'll be just like the main things that I have to focus on, and then my subject to-do list will be more specific, like make flashcards, look at this lecture, find this lecture, copy this from Daley, do this, do that, like all the specific things. And even if it's like small things like finish such and such an assignment or understand such and such a concept, put it on there so that you can cross it off later, because honestly, crossing something off my to-do list is the most satisfying feeling in the world. Physically crossing something off your to-do list releases this thing in your brain which is making you less stressed because you're seeing progress and you're seeing that you're getting closer. So that is a really, really good thing to do to help you stay less stressed and to help you stay on top of things. And your to-do list will keep you on track as well. And then they say follow your lists until you're done, until you know everything. And by this they mean start at the beginning and work your way down. Don't get tied up on one specific thing, because if you're especially if you're on a tight schedule, then if you spend way too much time on just one thing, trying to understand just that one thing, and then don't learn everything else, chances are that one thing you're trying to understand either won't be on the test or will only be a couple of questions. So if there's one thing you're not understanding, keep going, and then if you have more time, go back to it later. Also include on your to-do list exercise. This is one thing that I really need to work on this year, because I get so caught up in just wanting to just get it all done, just plow through it, that I don't take time or get out there and do something active, and it really does help me. If you just take some time to get some physical exercise, it's really going to help. And the more physical exercise and the more physical the exercise is, the better. Walking around the block is good. Running, taking a run, going for a bike ride, going to the gym. Even if you just want to get up and dance vigorously around your room for 10 minutes, it's going to help to just release some endorphins to make you feel a bit happier, make you feel a bit more positive. It'll also just give you a break. Just things like that. Get at least 7 hours of sleep, and I need sleep. I'm kind of like a baby that way. I enjoy going to bed early and I wake up early, so for me, finals are a big problem because I tend to try to push myself to stay up late, and then I end up not being able to, get up in the morning. I'm like, it's just so early, And my teacher also told me this one really interesting thing that I thought I would share with you guys. So, you know how they say sleep on it, like that expression? Well, literally, when you sleep, you're converting everything from your short-term memory into your long-term memory. And your short-term memory can hold, I believe, 7 things at a time, like 7 groups of things at a time, and that's it. But your long-term memory can hold basically unlimited amounts of information. So when you're trying to stay up late, you're like, I'm gonna pull an all-nighter, I'm just gonna learn all this stuff, you're doing yourself a disfavor because your short-term memory is only short-term, whereas when you go to sleep and when you go into your REM cycle, everything that's in your short-term memory is committed to your long-term memory, and then your short-term memory has time again later on to memorize new information. So just be really careful about not pushing yourself too hard. And they say eat a nutritious breakfast the day of. I know when I started taking finals, I got so nervous beforehand that I wouldn't want to eat. Like, I'm too nervous, like I'm not hungry, you know, when you get that feeling. But honestly, if you're able to take time and eat a good breakfast, then it's gonna pay off in the long run, because you'll have your nutrients for the day. Wake up with enough time to get ready and still have time to get to the final. And my favorite way to study, as most of you know if you've seen any of my other studying videos, is making flashcards. That is honestly my favorite way to prepare myself and to memorize material. Sorry, I just burped. That was gross. And each person's different when it comes to learning, and I'm sure you're all aware of this. But for me, I don't know what I am specifically, but I know it works for me. When I write flashcards, when I make flashcards, I'm writing the information down, which is helping to get it into my brain. Like, the more times you write something, the more imprinted into your brain it becomes, just because it's something that you're physically doing. And then once I'm done making my flashcards, I will give them to my dad or my brother or my mom or my grandma, anybody. And then when they're quizzing me, I'm able to say it out loud, and that's like yet another way that I'm speaking it. So it's another way of memorizing. And then I can sit there and quiz myself, and then I'm reading the information. So I'm writing it, I'm saying it, and I'm reading it. And all three of those things are going to help me to memorize it. Plus, flashcards are nice because if you're sitting waiting in traffic on the way there, if you're being driven to school, if you're driving, don't do this. But if you're on your way to school and you're being driven, you can quiz yourself. If you have a free minute between periods, you can quiz yourself. And then you can set aside the things that you know and just have specifically what you don't know. So flashcards really, really help me, and they can be applied for any subject. And my teacher's favorite way to study is to condense her notes. She just will read through everything that she's done over the year, pick the things that she knows has been on past tests, and then copy those down again, so you're writing it again, which is, you know, memorizing. And she says the notes should be neat, have colors, diagrams, anything that will help you learn the material. And she was talking about making just huge boards of just like if you're doing like connections or something, like making just like a big board where you can draw, like physically drawing arrows to show how things connect. Anything that's going to get part of you involved in it. Also emotional. Anything that connects with an emotion, she was saying, is really going to help you. It goes straight to your long-term memory. And I swear to God, like, I swear by this. It's completely true. My dad, this is how he helps me memorize things. If I'm having trouble with a word, he'll make it into something funny or make it into something gross so that I'll remember it. Example, 8th grade, giardia. I don't know if anybody you know what giardia is. It's a disease that makes you have diarrhea. It's disgusting. He goes, gee, I wish I'd done it in the yardia. Like, it's horrible. It's disgusting. 2 years later, I still remember it. It's things like that that are going to make you memorize things. I'm trying to think of other ones I've done, but it's just things like that when you see a word that you'll giggle to yourself and be like, oh, I know this. I do this for English vocab words, just, you know, really anything. The last couple study tips are to make your own test, going through previous tests that you've taken and looking at problems there and then reworking them into your own, just changing the numbers, things like that. It's a great way to study. Often teachers will just take the exact problems from the old test, change the numbers around, and put them on a new test. My chemistry teacher was telling me this, and my other teachers have told me this. It's just, if you're in a study group, having different members of the study group make different tests, and then trading the tests, and then solving the other tests and then checking your answers, things like that is really, really helpful. All right, finally going through book problems, just going through and trying more of those, even if you've already done them for homework, things like that can really help, because the more you're doing a problem, the more you're doing a concept, the more you're doing something, the more you're going to know how to do it. Finally, and I thought this was a really cool idea, I've never done this, but go to the textbook websites, because often they will have practice tests, study guides, information, things like that that you didn't get in class that you can get online as well. So I'm definitely going to try that out this time, but I thought that was a cool idea that I would share with you. And that's basically it. Other than that, just relax, take a deep breath, and just trust that you know the information.